Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from action figures to comic books and everything in between. My name is Aiden and I hope that you're doing well today. So in this video, as you can see, I have a better light source. My mother bought me this awesome setup for Christmas. It has a stand, a light which can change color, and a clamp apparatus that you can attach your camera or cell phone to. And that's what I have been doing for the last couple of videos, and that's going to be my setup for the foreseeable future. So once again, Mom, I already said this when you gave it to me, but thank you and I love you. And yeah, so for this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of this Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series action figure. This is Clone Commander Bacara from Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, and this is for people over the age of 4 years because of the possibility of choking. This is number 2 in Hasbro's Revenge of the Sith wave, and here is a read-up for the character in several different languages. In English, it says, quote, "Known for his aggressive tactics, Clone Commander Bacara led the Galactic Marines, a unit of clone troopers famous for their distinctive armor and relentlessness in combat." Now, here we have all of the legal information. This read-up is in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and a couple other languages that I do not recognize. One does look like German because of the accent over the U, but I don't speak German, which is a shame to my German ancestors, but you know, that's just how it goes. But here's the barcode and everything. Here's the side. Now, I've talked about this ad nauseum at this point, but I just love Hasbro's packaging for Star Wars The Black Series. It is absolutely fabulous. It is classy. It is very appealing. I just think that it's very well made, and the toys themselves do match that craftsmanship. But even though they are mass produced, but still, I just think that it is very, very cool. Now, if you do not know Clone Commander Bacara, he is the leader, as I said in the read-up, the leader of the Marine Corps for the Grand Army of the Republic, and I'll throw up some imagery for you. But he most famously appears in Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. He also makes a few appearances in the television series Star Wars The Clone Wars, which was the animated series which ran from 2008 to 2014, and then with the revival in 2020. But I do prefer the 2003 Clone Wars series, but I do like the 2008 show. But I'm gonna open this up and show you the articulation. Then we're going to cut over to my desk so that I can do a close-up and show you more of the articulation, then do the size comparison, which is my dad's favorite part of these videos. So I know you're watching, Dad, and I know you love Spider-Man, so cheers. But yeah, got my knife. Remember to always be careful when you're using a knife to open a package. I'm just cutting the tape on the box. And pulling the bubble with the figurine out. Now, he only comes with 2 accessories. Just gonna close this. He only comes with 2 accessories, 2 guns, but I'm happy with that. Look at that beautiful, beautiful figure in that bubble. I really, really like how distinct each unit of clone trooper is, because when you first watch Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, you're like, okay, they're just uniform all, you know, stark white with the black accents. If you want more of my in-depth thoughts on the Phase 1 Clone Trooper armor, check out my review of the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Episode 2 Attack of the Clones Clone Trooper figure. I'll have that linked up here. And if you want more action figure reviews or comic book reviews or video game gameplay, etc., and you're new to my channel, then please subscribe, ring the bell to be notified, click the like button, share this with your friends if they're interested in this sort of content, and in the description of the video I'll leave a link to my podcast, so if you're interested in this sort of content but not on video, then I'll leave a link to the podcast in the description, so please subscribe there, share that with your friends, and I'll also leave links to my social media profiles. I have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, Instagram, Reddit, and Discord. So if you'd like to send me a message and stay up to date when I post new videos and episodes of the podcast, but if you're already ringing the bell, you should be notified when I post a new video. I'm watching you. I see you through your cell phone screen, your tablet screen, your computer screen, your television screen. I know you're pressing that like button, and that's good, because if you didn't, I'd come through the screen and I'd make you press it. But yeah, so I'll leave links to all that, and I'll also leave a link to my Patreon page and merch store, so if you'd like to support this show financially, I'd greatly appreciate that. But continuing on with the video, I really like how as we transition into Revenge of the Sith, we get more individual looks and personalities, because some clones have more battle damage on their armor, others are part of different units, so they aren't like the base armor. Like with Commander Bacara, he's obviously a high-ranking officer, but his unit looks different from the grunts, and I really like how that expands the world. But he gets more screen time or page time in the expanded universe novels and comic books, I'm sure. I haven't read all of them, but I do have quite a few novels, and also I'll link my video where I show off my Star Wars novels. And enough with me shamelessly begging for your support, but just one more look at that. Here's a back shot, no ditty. Yeah, so let's take a look at the guns first, because I'm just gonna have to put them off to the side, and this tape is gonna have to come off, and obviously I cut my fingernails, so I can't easily get it off. But here we have the regular sized rifle for medium range, same as the one from my regular Clone Trooper and regular Stormtrooper reviews, and I'll also leave a link to that Stormtrooper review. And then we have the long range rifle, and I'm sorry I don't remember the names of these weapons, like their designations in universe, and please leave a comment suggesting future videos and telling me why I'm an idiot for not remembering what the names of the rifles are, and please tell me what the names of the rifles are so I don't have to pour through my novels every damn video so I can remember. But here's the long range rifle, same as the other video, but still very cool. I really like that. Alright, so here he is out of the bubble in all of his glory. I really like the sculpting and the colors, so for that alone the points go up. If you're new to my show and are not familiar with what I do for action figure unboxing and reviews, I have a scale of 1 to 10 rating system, with 1 being absolute Banthapoo and 10 being size snoodles. So far he's up to 4 or 5 points with just the look the packaging, the accessories, and the colors. Now the rest of the points come from being able to stand up properly, because Hasbro is notorious for sculpting feet that cannot stand on their own. And you know, the rest of the points go for the articulation and posability. But I think it's pretty standard Hasbro articulation. He can turn his head 360 degrees around. He can look up. He can look down. He can tilt his head. He can move his arms 360 degrees, although his pauldron does hinder that. He can bend his elbow, it's double jointed. He can twist his wrist around and bend it. And his right hand is sculpted to hold the guns. Same with the other arm, and with both legs you can kick out, kick back, do the splits, double jointed knees, and turn the shin and the thigh, as well as the ankle, although you can't actually spin it around, but you can point it up and down and rock it back and forth. And yeah, that is, oh, and there's also the ab crunch, but that's hindered because of his gear, and you can spin that around so you can move the body around. But yeah, basic Hasbro articulation, but slightly hindered because of the armor. But I think that that's necessary, because if you want to get the look of the character, then you have to get the character's costume down. Now, with that all being said, before we switch over to the more in-depth look over at my desk, I just want to put the guns in his hand. And Hasbro has had a bad track record in the past of making it easy for the characters to have their accessories, but here he is holding his rifle, his short-range rifle, and you can manipulate it so that ta-da! That's the short-range rifle. Now for the long-range rifle. Ta-da! And then boom. But yeah, I really like how this figure looks and moves. Now let's see how he stands up next to other figures from not only Hasbro but also McFarlane Toys. So here we have Commander Bacara next to the regular clone trooper from episode 2. Again, I'll leave the link to my review for that. So here's the regular soldier, and here we have Commander Bacara on a much better look than what I had previously, so I do apologize about that, but my new setup does not allow for that, but it does allow for better quality of videos. But I like the differentiation between the helmets and the armor. I mean, the armor at its base is the same, but you know, the additional pauldron and straps and the different helmet and the different gear on their belt, which can't really be seen, but you know, one could infer, is very, very cool. So yeah, and Commander Bacara is standing up fairly well, so he does get an additional point for that. and he looks very cool next to his clone brother. For another Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series figure, let's have him next to my second tallest figure. This is Chewbacca from A New Hope. He was my tallest figure, but then I got the Grey Hulk figure, so if you want to check out my review of that, I'll leave that linked. But Chewbacca, definitely much taller. And I got the long rifle in his hand, so that looks cool. Then let's have him next to Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi. Now, I don't like the retcon of how Boba Fett is a clone, but, you know, that's just the nature of the beast of Star Wars, but they look cool standing next to each other. Now let's have him next to Darth Vader from A New Hope. Darth Vader is obviously a lot taller, and they look great together. We must find the remaining Jedi and kill them. Yes, my lord. Speaking of which, let's have him next to Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. Very, very cool. I believe they're about the same height, which, although Maul looks slightly taller, which is fine by me. And for the last Star Wars figure, let's have him next to Emperor Palpatine from Return of the Jedi. Commander Bacara, execute Order 66. It will be done, my lord. Then for the last Hasbro figure, let's have him standing next to Captain Marvel from the Marvel Legends line by Hasbro. She's taller, but it's a different line, and that is fine by me, but they look cool together. And for the last figure, let's have him next to the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Golden Age Wonder Woman. Again, different company, so the scaling is quite different, but looks absolutely cool. You're never going to see Wonder Woman standing next to a clone trooper unless you have action figures, so. But yeah, I really, really like this. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would have to give this a 10, because honestly, this is one of the few regular sized Hasbro figures that I have that stands up normally. I really like the paint, and the articulation is standard, but it still moves very well. I really like how the limited accessories are fine. It would have been cool if he had the communicator where the Emperor calls him in the movie, but we get the antenna, so he has the broadcast beam directly into his helmet's communicator, which is fine, but the separate communicator disc would have been cool too. But of the two accessories he gets, the two different guns, I'm happy with that. And yeah, I just think that this is a very, very cool figure. Let me know what you think. And so that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I sincerely hope that you all have a wonderful day. Bye.